Check 1, 2. Check, check.
All right, guys, we are back. Welcome to the week 1 of the Coaches Show with Seth Parr and friends. I guess that's kind of how it goes down.
And friends. Yeah,
And
I
friends.
love it.
It's look, we're gonna have a lot of fun this year. We're gonna dive right into week 1 here pretty quick. But as we do, we want to obviously recognize that we are in a new location. Let's give a big shout out to Roadhouse for being our sponsor this year. Brady, I know you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, but if you can hear us, we are grateful for all that you and Brandy did to get us started here.
Yes.
Yes. And we've had our fair share of those great Texas Roadhouse rolls.
Oh, love the rolls. I mean, the rolls are great. Great appetizer with the cactus blossom.
Yeah,
Fried pickles. You can't go wrong with either one of those.
And while we're getting started, can we just give a big shout out to the best staff ever?
Oh, yeah.
Give a little love to the staff who works hard to make all these meals to the table in time. Look, as we kind of get rolling, there's several things. One of the things we want to mention about Roadhouse is not only are they sponsoring and letting us kind of be here for the Coaches Show, but they're doing something pretty cool this year.
Oh, yeah.
You want to tell them what that is? You want to make that big announcement?
Hey, so listen, game days, Friday nights when we have home games, Texas Roadhouse has decided we're going to stay open until midnight after the games. So Texas Roadhouse, the official place to grab a bite to eat after you watch the Coyotes get a win here at home. It's going to be a great time. I think there's plans to potentially put the games up on the TVs so that you can watch the games all happen all over again after we get those big victories at home. But, man, we are excited. Texas Roadhouse, the official restaurant of the Coyote Football Network.
Let's go.
For sure. They are doing some great things for our town and for our city, partnering in a lot of great ways. I know that, Coach, you guys worked with the Texas Roadhouse to do a sponsorship night to partner with some youth sports. And did that already happen, or is that still coming up? Okay, there's going to be a great sponsorship night. So Texas Roadhouse is like coming in deep and saying, hey, we want to be part of Anna. And so we're excited for all of that partnership.
Yeah, speaking of partnerships, as we get ready to ask Coach Parr here a couple questions, we got to do a big shout out to Adon Complete Air Conditioning and Heating.
Oh, yeah.
They've come along to be a sponsor for us tonight, and so we'll be running an ad between some of our breaks for them. If you need any air conditioning heating service at your house or at your business, give Adon a shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know we sent you. I know that it would mean a lot to them.
Well, without further ado, we got head coach and athletic director Seth Parr starting
Let's hear
off
it
the
for
show
Coach
with
Parr.
us.
Let's go now.
And so I think let's start here and let's start with this. Each season and each team is always unique, right? In the makeup of their personalities and in their character and how they are as individuals and as a team. So how has this new group of players been gelling together, and what's the feeling been going around practice?
Well, I think one, they've become a really good team. They're good teammates. They care about each other. They care about winning, and that's important to them. So it's an interesting group. A lot of energy. Sometimes, not as much energy getting ready to get their practice gear on. They're a lot slower group. They like to chat around, and we had to go in there and get them moving pretty good. But overall, they get along really well. They play hard. They compete. It's a really fun group of young men, and we got a great mixture. We got a lot of older kids mixed with some younger kids. But so the older kids have kind of shown them how we do things, and the younger kids have risen up to the challenge.
It's been a lot of fun watching these guys, try to hit that next gear over these last several months. This is something you're working on with them months and months out. As the last season ends, you guys start right away. And I don't think a lot of people realize that the preparation for this year began way back after last season. And we've got to be prepared. You look at our schedule this year, we got a big-time opening schedule. And there's just no getting around it. Talk a little bit about the front end of our schedule.
Well, our motto at this beginning was X15 Blackbird. Is that right? Blackbird. And what that was last year we felt like we had a group that we were going to have to build up momentum and be ready to lift off by the time district started. We knew we were going to have a brand new defense. We knew we were going to have to, go through some trials and tribulations where we can, get better. We knew we were going to have to face adversity. And I think we met that. We did a really good job of last year's group, and we competed. You saw us, the Oakland game came down the wire. Then we had the Gunner game that went really in our favor. Then we gave them the Lovejoy because nobody expects us to be able to compete with Lovejoy being a 4A Division I team. And by the second quarter, I was questioning. I think we were down 28 or 35-7. But then they just battled back, and we took the lead in the fourth quarter and didn't hang on to it. But that was something. Then we go to Melissa, and surely you can't compete. Melissa, being from Anna, you can't go to that stadium, and surely we shouldn't even be close, right? They're a big time football team, and it looks good. Stadium looks good, and then we came down to the 17-yard line and competed our tails off. Felt like we had a chance to win, but we didn't get it done. But that kind of lifted us up a little bit to know that these are the two schools that are supposed to be, the cream of the crop. Then if we can be a part of that. But this year, we're talking about starting fast. So X15, the Blackbird, right, was the fastest plane ever built.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And our guys like to, and even Coach Rodriguez and our young coaches think that nothing happened until 2000. Nothing good. Like, they think they watch basketball games and they don't think like Michael Jordan could compete in the NBA today because he don't shoot 3,000 three-pointers. All right. They don't value the mid-range jump shot, or they don't value fundamentals. But the Blackbird was made, I believe, in 1958. All right, 1958. The fastest plane that went Mach 8 was built in 1958. So I challenge Coach Rod and all these young guys to understand that there were some smart people back then too, and they, just because they didn't have a cell phone or AI, that they could get some things done. But that's what we want to do. We want to start fast. We got a defense that's been here for a year now. Really, the offense is kind of building back up, but we have the first 4 games, and we got to attack them. We got to be ready. So we talked about that in fall camp. Stay up. Don't get injured. Because in spring, it was brutal. We went and hit every day, and we competed, and we were trying to, stay up and be healthy so we can be ready to go. So what do? We get hurt the first couple of days of practice. Had some people go down, but we're getting better at that. They're naturally competitive, so when we go against each other, the offense gets mad when the defense does well, and the defense gets mad when the offense gets. And sometimes they just can't control themselves. And but that's kind of what we want. We want to live on the edge, and we want to be able to go and compete. So I think we're all, besides all the sickness that's going around right now, if we can get that cured or just get over the hump, we're going to be able to do that.
Well, I think there's something to be said about going and playing a championship level team early in the season, right? And how it prepares you for the grind of the postseason. There are some teams who will take on a cupcake schedule out of district and not really test themselves, but you guys are doing the opposite with Liberty Christian and Arizona Highlands coming in. You guys are once again putting championship caliber teams on your schedule before we ever get to district. What does that do for the mindset of your guys as the season goes along as well?
Well, Mike Leach says nothing doing hard things is fun. Nothing good comes from doing something easy. You know, you gotta challenge yourself and do hard things, and that makes it worthwhile. You'll remember the hard games he always preached. You're not gonna remember the games that are, you know, easy. Now, I'll be honest with you. It's not like we went and hunted these teams down and we really wanted to play. If I could play a cupcake, I would do that. But, you know, they've already watched film. They've got the perception of us that we were a team that, you know, was 2 years ago. But that is long past, and there's some teams that decide that they don't want to play. And they'll so that's how we got 2 state championship teams put together. It wasn't because we were just wanting to go and play each other all the way. But I do appreciate the compliment, you know. But that's the way it happens, you know. So, you know, that first game was Jason Witten's team, and you know, it's called the Hall of Fame game because of him. You know, we feel like this is our chance to go show, go compete and put our brand out there in front of a big audience, because, you know, he does a great job, and I wanted to not like him. I really did. I don't like, I can get myself worked up and not like people, and then when I go and compete with them, but Jason was a hard one not to like. He's very good, always been very complimentary, humble when he didn't have to be humble. You know, he's a Hall of Famer, and all he's ever done with our staff is treat us really well and ask us to, you know, we've had 7-on-7 together in the summer and stuff like that, and we didn't ever plan on playing. It just kind of happened. The Arizona game happened because of the Gunner decided they didn't want to play. They didn't think they could hold us in their stadium. I don't know how they can hold Salina, but that worked out.
They're playing that one in Melissa.
Yeah, we would have played it in Salina if they wanted to, but it didn't work out. All right, so we're now playing the Highland team, which is a fun game.
That brings up something interesting. A lot of times people take this scheduling aspect of what you do for granted. They don't realize all the Jenga, like the puzzle it becomes to make sure you have a full schedule of games year in and year out.
Well, it's difficult, but like even our freshman team, now that we're playing Liberty Christian, they don't have a freshman team. So we thought we had a freshman game this week, and with all the moving parts, it didn't. I thought we had one, but apparently we didn't. So now our JV goes. So then next week we have a team from Arizona that's obviously not going to bring their JV, but now our freshmen didn't play, so we're going to have a freshman game with Salina. So it's just a lot of moving pieces trying to get games in. I think a Frisco team doesn't have a JV team now, so it's really not just the varsity schedule, it's the JV and the freshman schedules as well. And yeah, it gets a lot. Yeah, you start thinking, and then somebody will say, where's this team play at? And by the time we've done 3 schedules and they're asking for week 8, I really don't know. I'll have to look at the schedule, and then I'll look at the schedule. I'm like, is that the right time? You know, because everybody does different times. And
right.
That's another part that I hate, is that how many different times every town plays. I wish we had a standard time, but they don't like my time. They want to go at 7. We want to have the opportunity to get a good crowd and let parents and everybody enjoy their kids' education. So we start at 7:30 so they can avoid traffic, and we care about our families here in Anna.
So we care about our families. We like to have fun, right? We like to do it right. That's what I hear you saying. We like to do it right.
Just like to showcase things that people work hard to do, and we're not in a hurry to get home. So, you know, we want to have a good time and want to enjoy ourselves, and want every parent to, you know, be able to be a part of that.
That's great. So what do you think going into this game? You know, you talked about the coach. You've talked about I think they're back-to-back state champions in TAPS in their division. What are the keys for our guys come this Friday night?
Well, I mean, one, you got to play hard, and if you really think about winning at the beginning of the game, it's going to come about non-scripted plays that happen. So, it's not going to be the base plays. It's going to be who wins on 3rd and 1, who wins in the snap, hold, kick game, who wins every special team, who doesn't get first down penalties, who can make 1st and 20 into, 2nd and 10, and who can convert on 2-point conversions. All those things that are going to come up, 3rd and longs, that you're not expecting to come up, that's where you got to win these games, and you got to be prepared for. So it's all that stuff being ready for it. And I think our kids do a good job. They start in the summer on special teams. We think that's really big, and we try to get, I think we got great hold, snap, kick preparation. At one point can cost you a game. Mm-hmm. I've lost the 3rd round of the playoffs off a blocked field goal. So all that stuff matters, and you got to really pay attention to detail and have a year-round plan on how you're going to make that good.
Well, perfect. Listen, before we get you out of here, we always want to give you the opportunity. Is there anything you want to say, any message you want to give the fans before week 1, anything you want to talk about?
Well, I guess we've all seen the messages. When you come out to the stadium, we want you to be loud. I mean, let's go 3 rules. We want you to be early, enjoy the tailgate, enjoy the coyote walk, enjoy the camaraderie that happens with the fans, enjoy being part of a community that values education and values sports and values all the fine arts that you have. Be a part of it. Don't complain about it. Don't get on Facebook. And guys, everybody that's complaining on Facebook, I don't read it. And then everybody that has Facebook, you don't have to take a screenshot to show me. All right? If the complaint department's back there, and I don't care if you're upset. We're going to do our best job, and we'll figure that out. And don't be good at being mad. All right, so some of the people are good at being mad and just want to be mad all the time. So 1, be early. All right, 2, be energetic and be into the game. You got to follow along, be loud, be proud, and then 3 is be respectful. That's a thing that we got to get to in our stadium, is that understand that there's more than just one you and your family. There's a lot of families. There's a lot of people that have kids that are doing their best. Make sure you praise them, not bring them down. And then please stay off the rails. All right, don't get on the rails. Don't yell at me. I'm good. I'm not paying attention anyway. I've got 2 headsets on, not paying attention. Stay away from that. You buy your hot dogs. We encourage everybody to buy not just 1 hot dog, buy 3 hot dogs.
There you go.
All right, 3 hot dogs and nachos. Get you a heart attack, whatever you want to get, and then go back to the stadium. Go back into the stands and be loud. We want the student section to be up, be rowdy. We don't want to come down, but don't throw anything. All those things that are common sense that you think might be common sense that we probably need to practice. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be extra security at the game. There's not going to be a lot of people on the field, no access until after the game. You got to have passes, no athletic passes anymore. We had a lot of people taking advantage of that, so you got to buy a ticket, and you got to get in, and I would get in. I would buy a ticket and get there pretty early. It's going to be pretty full. I know all the season tickets are sold out, so make sure that you get that and get there early.
Well, I love it. Listen, and to add on to that, be loud at the right time. Not when we're on offense, right?
Yeah.
When we're on defense, get as loud as you can get.
Follow the board. We've made a video board that will help you out, and will help you learn how to, if you don't know and you're just going because you have a friend or you have a family member or somebody else, just look at the board. If it says shh, that means be quiet. If it says be loud, that means blow your horns. All right? And then we got some white towels that are going to be waving in these stands, and bring all the fun things you can bring. All right? And don't get mad. Be happy.
There you go. I love it. Well, hey, we're excited for Friday night. Coach Parr, thanks for taking a few moments to be with us tonight. We're going to take a quick break to hear from Adon air conditioning and heating, and then we'll be back with our next coach.
All right.
There we
Appreciate
go.
you guys.
Great job, Coach.
Oh,
As always.
good job. Thank you.
You betcha, Coach.
I want to make a guest appearance on the show.
No.
You want to scoot so that Samir can get in here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you can't.
Hey, Coach, you sit right there. Hang on 1 second. You want to slide right in here?
Sorry, I'm a little hoarse.
Oh, you're good.
I was yelling a little bit today.
Attaboy. You know we love it. What?
You didn't mute us on stream.
You turned us down.
You still have to mute us on stream.
Oh, well.
It's all good.
You can hear us during our break. Hey, there we go.
Everybody on YouTube's getting a little preview.
We're back.
All right, we are back live. We for this next there we go. For this next segment, we have our defensive coordinator, Coach Severe, joining us. Coach Severe, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
As we try and get the leveling in here correctly.
There we go. There we go. We got
We
it.
don't want to blow everybody's ears. Hey, listen, we're going to start off with a little bit of a mouthful question, but I think it's one that, knowing you, I think you'll enjoy a little bit. And so, listen, the offseason in a lot of ways is about development for players, right? Development of strength, of speed, of their understanding of the playbook, of the systems that we run, a development of their character. But in a lot of ways, too, the offseason is about development for you all as coaches as well. So what are one or two things that you've really learned and picked up on this offseason that you feel like are helping you be a better coach coming into 2025?
I think every offseason is different, but it always starts in a similar way. I think it always starts with reflection. You look back. In the heat of the battle of the season, you're always trying to just what's next. And you do some self-scouting, and you kind of know. You have feelings about what's going on, and you have some data, but when the season's over, you have a lot more time to dive in to the data and dive into the film and look back on the full year. And so every year kind of starts with reflection, and a lot of reflection at the end of the year. I do something called padding. So I look at the film, and any play that had 12 yards or more on a run play, I literally draw what every single player did on the play. I mean, and I highlight the ball carrier. I circle guys who made errors, and so I try to create a system where I can see if there's any common errors. Is there common errors that we're having problems with? Is it a scheme issue? Have teams figured out how to attack us, and it's consistently happening the same way? So that helps me reflect on and get a game plan for how I want to attack the offseason. Do I need to go study somebody who runs something that might be better? Do I need to study a technique that we weren't very good at and sharpen my tools that way? So every offseason is really fun. I love football, so you get sometimes when off seasons are too long, you get too much, and then you realize you can't do all of it, and you got to scale back and kind of get what's best. But I enjoy studying football. I enjoy learning. But really it's about reflection and then getting a game plan to kind of say, okay, what do we really need for our group moving forward? Who's coming back? What fits their skill set, and how do we use that to our advantage?
Well, and it's not only what's coming back, but it's also what changes too.
Yeah.
Every team has changes in the offseason. You got guys that maybe leave for whatever reason. You get guys that come in for whatever reason. And this year you have a few new parts on our defense that you've had to integrate. So how has that process been as you've tried to incorporate some of these guys? And really, it's a twofold question. How's that process been incorporating these new guys? And then who's kind of stepped up among that crew to kind of really be a leader?
I'll answer the first question. Coach Rod and I were talking about this the other day. It's just the off season from January to really February to when we started practice in the fall was crazy. One of the most crazy off seasons I think I've had, and I don't know about Coach Parr, but can't speak for him, but I feel like it was pretty wild. You had players coming in, going out, people move, and all kinds of things going on. And you never really know exactly what we had, right? We feel really good about something, then it changes. And then you feel really good about what changed, and then it changes. So it's been a constant flux. But what's been really good about it is we had a really good core group of kids. I was looking today on our kick return team, and I see Brandon Williams and Bo Brown and Cash Williams and Ryan Tsunami on that front line, and just how much bigger they look.
Yes.
Bryson Bardoff, how much bigger, more physical, stronger they look from last year. And so we had a really good core group of seniors and juniors that played a lot of football last year that kind of anchored us. So with some of the changes, those anchors have really grounded us and made me feel at ease with, hey, we might get this guy move in, we might get this guy move out, this guy might get hurt, this guy might get sick, but I feel really good about like 18 football players on defense that can really help us, and we're using them in different ways to highlight them and highlight us. So some of the, I want to stand out, Austin Crowley, Ryan Tsunami, those kids who've been there and done that for a good while have really kind of gave us a foundation. And then obviously Jaden Parker is a phenomenal football player. He does things every day where you're just like impressed. He's going to really help us, and he's not quite really the vocal leader, but he just does everything right. And as good as he is, he's really humble. And I think our kids love that about him, because very easily he could come in and have a big head about him and do things the wrong way or whatever very easily with his talent. But he's come in and done things the Anna way, and I think our kids appreciate that about him.
So in our preseason show, I'm going to throw one at you here on the fly, all right?
I love it.
In our preseason show where we're talking about competitors and all that stuff, we looked back and then we compared to where we are this year compared to where we were this time last year. What I know each team is different, but the feeling is just different this year. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I remember at our media day last year, you guys asked me a question, and you asked me, who do we look for to make plays? And I said, I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see. And because I really didn't know, there wasn't a whole lot of experience and for me to look at and say, oh, yeah, this guy's just going to do it. I had to kind of figure it out. And we had to figure it out. And I feel like this year there's just such a sense of peace and confidence in the fact that we have a lot of guys that we know what to expect. They know what to expect. It's not their first varsity game for a lot of guys. Mm-hmm. And so their confidence that they brought from getting reps and snaps last year, accumulating their workouts they've done and gotten stronger and faster and more physical. There's just a sense of confidence, a sense of, that we know what we're doing. We feel good about it. We know who we are. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of guys that we feel good about that can play football.
Well, and it seems even with losing guys like, Zay Gentry or Eric Bowen, just to name a couple of them, just the dudes that you have coming back, just their confidence seems so much higher. Even in just talking to them, some of those names you mentioned, and talking to JoJo, he's just like, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm
ready. He's quietly confident. I'm ready. I don't know if he's always quiet when he's on the field between the lines, but talking to him, he's one of those quiet, confident guys. So if you haven't been looking into who's coming back yet, on Friday night, get ready for this defense. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch fly around this year. I think there's going to be a lot of dudes competing and swarming to that ball. So it's going to be fun to watch them. Coach Severe, thanks for taking some time to be with us. We're going to run another ad, and then we're going to bring Coach Rigg up here. Go enjoy that steak, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're back. We are in our third segment. We got Coach Rigg. Let's give it up for Coach Rigg, everybody out here. Come on now. As y'all welcome Coach Rigg, I want to say a couple things about the network right as we jump in. This is a good opportunity to say this. We are really pushing this year the subscriptions to the YouTube channel. If you, hey, it's somebody's birthday in the restaurant. Everybody give it up for that birthday over there.
Happy birthday over
Let's
there.
go.
Yeah, happy birthday. Oh, it's Brandy's son's birthday? Happy birthday. Brandy's one of the ones that was instrumental in helping us get here. So happy birthday to Brandy's son.
Oh, that's fun. That's the joy of a live show. You never know what's going to happen. But we are really pushing subscriptions to the channel. If you haven't subscribed or your friends haven't subscribed, this year's the time to get them to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So please do that as we get going. All right, Coach Rigg, we're done with that. You ready for this?
Yep, ready to roll.
Man, I'm so glad you're here. I always look forward. You put such a great offense on the field every year. These guys tend to play for you. You have a great way of getting into their head and really helping them achieve. You've had to replace, though, about half of the starting offense from a year ago. That is no small task, and I think a lot of fans know that. But how's that been for you, getting kind of everybody up to speed? Who's stepping up on that side of the ball? Kind of what are things looking like as you are sitting here as coach?
Yeah, so kind of looking at our offensive line, had a lot of snaps that graduated, a lot of guys that were 2-3 year starters, guys that have played for us, been in the program, knew what we wanted. They've kind of moved along. We got Dylan down at A&M Kingsville now, doing a really good job for Coach Parr's brother. Has been, really good down there. And then we've got some guys that are coming up and young guys that we think have a lot of potential, but like Coach Severe said, till they play a varsity football snap, you don't really know. So the good thing about it is we do have a couple guys that have played a lot of snaps already, and Peyton Miller, Lashem, and then Marcos Rivera has played for 3 years for us. So, I mean, guys that played on state championship teams, you usually don't 3 years later have those guys still in the program. But, I mean, Peyton Marcos, it seems like have been there, my whole time I've been here. Since they were in 6th, 7th grade working out with us. I mean, they've been around it, and they love football, and they haven't got sick and tired of me yet, which is a good thing.
Do they have a choice?
My wife could argue with them that, sometimes she needs some space, but they somehow will put in 12-hour days with me all year round.
Well, you know what's remarkable, especially in today's game of football?
Yep.
Most colleges don't get that much time with kids.
Yep.
No.
I mean, you guys get, you possibly get 4 years with these kids. And, I think about the potential of how you're shaping young men, right? The kind of input you're having on not just this kid, but the kind of man these guys are going to be. Because 4 years of influence is a big deal.
Yep.
That is a big deal. And you've got some of these guys that long.
Yep. Yeah, we do. And, anytime that a kid can play for 4 years, I'm all in there because it means they're pretty good. So, having Peyton Miller, and then we're going to have a freshman right tackle that's coming in. Anytime you're playing varsity football in the state of Texas as a freshman, it is hard.
Yes.
I don't think people really understand that, regardless of how good the kid is, how talented they are, just to play in that scenario with that pressure, with all the things that have to go right for it, is really difficult. So that being said, he's extremely talented. In the scrimmage, had a couple miscues, but that's to be expected from someone like that. There's a lot of pressure on him, a lot of things going through his head. He's trying not to get yelled at by me when he gets to the sideline, and then, just gets a little anxious and gets moving. But I think it's something that he's doing a really good job kind of learning, and it's just one of those we have to do our best to make sure that those young guys are taking big steps every single week. Because it's one where we're not trying to be the best team we're going to be week 1 and 2. We're trying to be the best team that we're going to be in week 3 and 4 of the playoffs. That's kind of what we're looking at. If we want to make a long playoff run, if you don't get improvement, you're not going to do that. So that's kind of one of those things. We've got to build that consistency and just kind of, go play by play, learn from our mistakes. When we have mishaps, move along. Don't let it, I told the offensive lineman last week, you're going to mess up. You're going to do something wrong. It's a scrimmage. That's why. That's why we do a scrimmage. We do a practice. And then the big thing is not doing that mess up next week. Executing that thing you messed up. and then kind of bringing that full circle and, making it a positive.
Well, and that's part of that learning and growth process. I think one of the guys I'm interested about, and it's not just because he's sitting over here, but talk to us a little bit about Zai coming in as starting his sophomore year versus Zai coming in starting his senior year, and some of the control he has around the offense, around the team, and how he stepped up as a leader. So, Zai, if you need to, you can put on your earmuffs while you're listening to Coach Riggs talking. But
so, big thing with Zai, when he was a younger quarterback as a sophomore, like when you're a young quarterback, you're trying to just get a grasp of the offense, know your routes and concepts, understand, hey, when I'm running this run play, my footwork's here, I'm reading this guy. If I'm RPO, I'm reading that leverage. But the good thing with him is being 3-year starter, coming through, being more experienced. He understands protections. He understands that, if we're in a wrong situation where they've got an overload side, how we're going to get this picked up. So then it's not he has to make a quick decision because he's getting pressure. We can pick up the pressure and then actually punish him doing that. So that's having a senior quarterback, especially one that's going to be a 3-year starter. I mean, that is always massive. Anytime you can get those guys, they're hard to get because, again, it's hard to play as a freshman. It's also hard to play as a sophomore. Playing a quarterback in the state of Texas, especially in this district, is very difficult. Got some really good teams around us, so him being able to be back there, kind of be that presence, especially with some younger guys around, got a young receiver, got a young offensive lineman, and getting those guys kind of into the right position and being able to control a huddle more than probably as a sophomore he was comfortable as is just something that's an added bonus. On top of him being a great athlete, great player, it's just being able to do the right thing with the football and not make mistakes because you know what to expect.
There you go.
So I want to piggyback.
Yeah.
Can I piggyback on that question a little bit?
Yep.
Look, Zai, we've been able to stand around. We've been able to watch practices, see some things, have the opportunity to see that young man practice and play. I think a lot of people just, take for granted, at least Anna fans take for granted how good he looks on a game night.
Yeah.
But what are some things that most people don't know about Zai? What is one thing that you could say about Zai from behind the scenes that most people would be surprised by in terms of the football side of things?
I think one big strength that really kind of stands out with Zai compared to even other quarterbacks we've had is his retention of information. Now, it's good and bad because he'll remember, what our check was in the state championship 3 years ago, but he'll also remember that I told him that, hey, if you do this, you can get out of this later on. So he's got some really good retention of information, but sometimes it, can come back to bite you a little bit. But all kidding aside, that's one thing. It's a really big strength of his. He's an extremely smart kid, just understands offense. But then, when we put something in, we'll tell him once on what he's doing on it. I don't have to come back 3-4 times, reteach it, do another film session about it. He's got it.
He's got it.
And he's going to look at you and he's going to tell you, Coach Rick, I got it.
We're homers. We know that.
Yep.
I wear the same three purple shirts all year long. It feels like I don't think I ever get out of them. I feel it's become a running joke with people in my church. Do you have any other shirts besides the 3 you wear? So we love the Coyotes. We have learned to love Zai too, right? We've got to see him, and I will say I think people sleep on how smart he is and how fast he accelerates as a runner.
Oh yeah.
That freaks me out every time I see it in practice. Literally just it's jaw-dropping. And I know he's sitting in here, so it's easy to talk about him. He's going to get this big head. Not going to be able to leave the restaurant tonight, but I do think people need to watch his game a little bit more. I think more people need to be paying attention to him because the stuff he brings, the tools he's got, start with what's right here in between his ears. Dude is super sharp, and he's going to make you pay.
Yep.
He's going to make you pay.
Agreed. Within the pocket, there's no one that's as quick as him. The great thing is he's always looking to run, but he's also looking, once he breaks contain, that if you pull up, he's going to get the ball downfield too, and that's one other trait that's pretty great to have. Since the off-script plays, the ones that we don't call that he actually gets into and turns it into, it's a pretty special thing.
Hey Zai, question for you. You don't have to come on screen. What yard line would I have to start on to beat you in a full field sprint? The 40?
The 40.
The other 40 or
Same 40. So at 40 yards, that probably feels about fair. That's where I would handicap myself at too. That's how fast we're talking about this kid is. Like he's incredibly fast.
I see a Coyote Football Network special coming.
Yep.
I see short.
I see a very short one because I'm probably coming up lame after about 25 yards with the pulled hammy.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all you Coyote fans, can I just say already, since we're live, the thumbs down emoji has already come out. The haters are present. Let's go, everybody. The haters are on the stream. Woo! Come on, haters.
I love it.
Come on with your thumbs down.
Their hate can't reach us. We're surrounded by some awesome steaks from Texas Roadhouse. So what are they going to do about it?
I love that.
They're not here enjoying steaks. They're at home just disliking stuff. So
I love the haters. I have it on good authority, by the way. We're getting a special T-shirt for one of the games.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I'm going to leave it at that because I want to surprise you with what it says, and we will absolutely 100% both be wearing it come that special game.
Right.
So it's going to be fun. You will definitely understand it when it hits. But
right.
Coach Rigg, as always, giving us some great stuff. Let's give it up for Coach Rigg, everybody.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, we are back with our final segment of the evening. We're joined by Coach Rodriguez. You guys give Coach Rod a hand. Thanks for being with us.
No, I appreciate y'all always, man. Thank y'all for everything that y'all do for Coyote football.
So we had a couple of questions for you. We're going to go ahead and scrap that, and we're going to have a live debate on the GOAT of basketball, Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. And we're going to finally ease Coach Parr's mind.
No,
Every year.
That sounds like another Coyote Football Network special. We'll get away from football for one night, and we'll just talk basketball.
Yeah, I just want to make this clear for everybody listening is, no matter the year you were born, I got great respect for you. I don't think that, hey, life started or, intelligence is higher than certain. I just have respect for all peoples of all ages.
All right, Mr. Politician, thank you so much for that.
Are you running for mayor of Anna next term?
Pete Kane might not fight you on it. There you go. Yeah. Hey, let's start it with this, man. We graduated some major weapons at the wide receiver department, right? We talk about Ashton Ansley. We talk about Ronald Bell Jr. as a couple of those guys. So who from our receiving corps this year is stepping up to take a leadership role in that room? And then some of the young guys, how are they starting to fit in? Some of those young guys, who's stepping up that we need to keep an eyeball on?
Yeah, so, losing Ronald Bell and Ashton Ansley, right, man, there were tremendous receivers. They, did so much. They performed at a high level, very productive. And, we're now looking forward to seeing what they do at Texas A&M Kingsville. And,
There you go. We're excited.
To be able to replace them, you got to do it as a core, right? But, luckily, too, the two of the guys that we have coming back in Rowan Nylander and Ace Traylor and Michael Kennedy, it's not going to be as hard, right? Those three, receivers are very good. Rowan Nylander, very tough, physical receiver, has great instincts, knows how to use his body.
Real quick, was it he got compared to Zoolander? Is that what I heard?
What is up with that, dude?
Like Zoolander, the school for kids who can't read well. He's the school for DBs who can't cover well, is what he was telling me. But,
man, I I like it, but you know, he's a tough kid. He plays at a consistent speed, and you know, as a receiver, you got to have that, right? You know, you can't let the DB know, and on you know when you're going to take a play off, or you know, hey, you're not going to get the ball in this play, or hey, it's a run play, right? But the deal with Rowan and you know Ace and Michael, you know, they possess the same qualities too, as they play at a consistent speed. You know, they play hard. They, you know, they understand that, hey, they're not only getting themselves open, but they're getting, you know, everybody else in the offense open as well. So being able to have those guys, again, is going to help us a lot. The two receivers that we have that are going to be fresh off the play are going to be, you know, Cormon Houston, who's a freshman, right? You got to see a little bit of his ability at the scrimmage. Almost takes the opening kick, you know, to the house, and for a freshman, I've never seen anybody that just has natural feel and instincts for the game. And you know, he's a strong receiver, and you know, with him, he's only going to get better and better, right? He's still learning the system, still learning the offense, still learning on how, you know, to run routes, you know, with certain concepts. So just look for him.
And he's not slow.
No, he is not slow.
He's not slow.
Yeah, he's a gifted receiver, but you know, you heard Coach Rigg, you know, talking about, I mean, it's hard to, you know, play and start as a freshman, right? And, you know, you saw how productive he was, you know, at the scrimmage, and his confidence and his knowledge and, you know, his speed are only going to get, you know, better and better each week. So he's going to continue to grow, and we're excited for him.
Who's the fastest wide receiver in the receiver room?
Oh, no.
I think we all know that question, and that's the guy that's sitting over there, Michael Kennedy. Yeah.
White Lightning.
White
Lightning.
yeah.
White Lightning.
Yeah.
He
so-
looked
White
over
Lightning
here
in the house.
immediately.
Yeah.
He had to make sure he said. I
Yeah.
love it.
You know.
Oh man, we can't take credit, by the way, for that nickname. The boys on the dub podcast made that nickname, so
Yeah.
We heard it. We were like,
and
that
I think
works, that fits.
it came from right here, sitting right here. TOTR track was. It's good to see you, man.
Alonzo.
Yeah.
Alonzo's here.
Yeah.
Glad to have him. We will be carrying that nickname into the show.
We loved it.
In your honor.
We love it
In
better
your honor,
than,
sir.
than Zoolander nickname for just say it.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Look, I for one, I love watching a guy like Kennedy who can stretch the field. Like there may be a handful of guys that might even think they can keep up with him, and that's about it.
Right.
They can think they can keep up with him, but he is so fast.
No,
right?
right.
I mean, and it's got great hands.
Yeah.
Definitely a kid who's a weapon.
No, yeah. When you have somebody like that could blow the top off, man, it does so much for the offense, and just by his speed alone, it gets other people open, and it opens up a lot of other stuff in our system. So,
Hey, real quick before you go to the next question, hey, Mr. Kennedy, same question I had for Zai. What yard line would I have to start on to beat you in that dash? On the 50. So you're saying. So, all right, so what I just heard is that we need to line Kennedy and Zai up and have a sprint off one day and see who's faster.
Well, let's make that an after season
Competition.
We'll
do it after the season.
I enjoy getting to cover Kyle football, and Coach is sitting right in front of me, and I got a feeling he would take us out behind a woodshed if we tried to pull something like that off.
There you go.
Coach
I
Rod,
love
look, let's talk some kicking, because I think we actually have a pretty talented kicker.
yeah.
You know, give it up for.
He might be in the house, too. He might be in the house.
Yeah, he might be sitting right over to my right. Look, I feel like watching him this year, he's come back stronger, right? He's kicking further. What kind of work did this kid kind of put in during the offseason, and how's that open up both the special teams unit and knowing he's in there kind of in the waiting?
Des, man, in the offseason handled it well. So, you know, he's also a soccer player, right? And, you know, that's in the midst of our offseason, but he still, you know, was able to, you know, still keep up with, you know, place kicking, right? All that stuff, and still, you know, was able to compete at a high level in soccer. And, you know, because he was able to do that, right, and carry that throughout the summer, I mean, you saw at the scrimmage, I mean, those kicks were going literally throughout the back of the end zone. And his leg has gone a lot stronger. His confidence has gone up, and he's actually have gone a lot more accurate as well. So, you know, a lot of the thing, too, with him, you know, with how we are limited with staff, you know, I'm not a full-time kicking coach. Right. Even though Coach Parr says that I am, and, you know, I just can't spend the whole duration of practice with Des has to be mature enough to do a lot of the things on his own.
Yeah.
Right. And he's always working something, even when we're in different segments of our practice, even, when there's certain, people not watching or they are, he's able to go and do things on his own and not just go and play around and, do things like that. And because of that, that's also has led to his, increase in development.
Well, and it looks like his technique and confidence, kicking field goals, extra points is also growing. Is that fair, Des? I know you've been working with a couple of people in the offseason. One of them's a dude that Phil and I know pretty well, and he loved getting the chance to work with you. But how does that open up some of the options for the offense, knowing that you've got someone in the wings that can make it from 45 yards with honestly pretty good ease? Now, how does that open the playbook for you guys and chances you can take on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, so now it kind of going into, once we get into that the scoring zone, it gives us more confidence going in, knowing that, hey, we could still get points out of this drive. We may not have to force anything, right? And, we don't always have to, go for it. If we, want to get some points out of the drive and if we need a field goal, we have a lot of confidence in Dez and getting that job done. So, that's big for us.
Yeah.
I feel like now that he's got this first year under his belt, his confidence level and just everything about, him being a kicker has really gone up. So it's different that first year starting. You're trying to get a feel of things, right? There's a lot of things that you're trying to learn. You're trying to play a lot of things out. And then once, you get into that, second year, it's you're going to see a lot of growth, and I believe that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a big deal. There's a lot of teams across the state of Texas, both in the 5A and 6A level as well, that won't think about kicking a field goal out past 35 yards because they just don't have a dude that can get it done. And so it's exciting that we've got a dude that can get that done, that can place kickoffs. We talked about that last year with you on the show as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just kicking field goals. The dude can boot it out the back of the end zone. He can boot it 6 yards deep in the end zone, or he can put it on the 2 if he needs to.
No, right, yeah. And, in the past, we've gone, through those issues of not being able to kick it out the back of the end zone. And with our philosophy on special teams where our offensive and defensive starters are also on special teams, right, to avoid some of that extra, wear and tear that, those players are experiencing on kickoff. And for us to be able to just kick it out the back of the end zone and take a little bit off of their play, that's huge for us. So it's awesome.
Well, that's going to do it. Let's give it up one more time for Coach Rod. He's gonna sit up here while we close out the show. Let's give it up once for the Texas Roadhouse and this great staff.
Yes.
I will unapologetically remind you to tip them well. They've taken great care of us tonight. Right? Tip your servers well. Let's go. Yeah, everybody want to applaud for that? Yeah. No. No applause for that?
Lots of applause for that. And then, hey, friendly reminder, after our home game on Friday night, Roadhouse is open till midnight, open late. So come back and get another delicious steak, some of that fried chicken, some cactus blossom, some pickles. Can you tell I'm getting hungry over here?
It's time. It's time for us to end this and get our food. So as we go out on all of them, want to go out that way?
Yeah, Coach Rod, you want to lead us out? Go Coyotes on 3?
Go Coyotes.
Here we go. Go Coyotes on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Go Coyotes!